The universe has a secret language, and if you were born under the sign of Aries, you already speak it fluently. Your fierce independence, that burning ambition, the way you tackle challenges head-on, these aren't coincidences. They're written in the stars, coded in your cosmic DNA from the moment you took your first breath between March 21st and April 19th. Welcome to Secret of the Zodiac, where today we're diving deep into the blazing world of Aries, the fearless firstborn of the zodiac wheel. That fire you feel? It's not just passion, it's your elemental nature, and understanding it will transform how you navigate everything from relationships to career decisions. Those moments when you felt misunderstood for being too intense or too direct. After watching this video, you'll recognize these aren't flaws. They're your superpowers. The Zodiac's ram doesn't apologize for charging forward, and neither should you. Look around at the people in your life. Notice how they carefully consider options while you've already made 3 decisions, how they're still processing an emotion long after you've moved on to the next adventure. This isn't impatience, it's your natural rhythm, your cosmic efficiency at work. The ancient Babylonians knew something special about those born when the spring equinox awakens the world. They recognized that Aries energy, ruled by Mars, the warrior planet, carries a distinctive urgency and vitality that other signs spend their lives trying to cultivate. What comes naturally to you, others struggle to achieve. Think about the last time someone called you stubborn. Were you being obstinate, or were you simply standing firm in your convictions? Aries doesn't waver in the face of opposition, another trait that's often misinterpreted by those who don't understand your celestial blueprint. Your attention span might seem short to others, but that's because your mind processes information at warp speed. You've already understood the concept, found 3 applications for it, and moved on to the next fascinating idea while others are still taking notes. This mental agility is your birthright, a cosmic gift that, when properly channeled, makes you an unstoppable force. The ram's horns symbolize more than just determination. They represent your natural ability to break through barriers that would stop others in their tracks. When you set your sights on a goal, the universe itself seems to clear a path for you. This isn't luck, it's alignment with your astrological design. Your friends might tease you about always needing to be first, whether it's crossing the finish line or getting the latest gadget. What they don't realize is that this pioneering spirit is encoded in your astrological DNA. As the first sign of the zodiac, you embody the energy of beginnings, of fresh starts, of taking that initial brave step into the unknown. The ancient texts describe Aries as the spark that ignites the fire. Think about that for a moment. Without that initial spark, there is no flame, no warmth, no light. Your presence in any group serves this essential function, kindling enthusiasm and action where there was only potential before. If you've ever felt a strange kinship with others born under your sign, it's because you recognize in them that same restless energy, that same impatience with unnecessary delays, that same refreshing honesty that cuts through social pretense. You're part of a cosmic family that understands life is too short for hesitation. Before we dive deeper into what makes Aries truly unique among the 12 signs, take a moment to join our cosmic community. Hit that subscribe button and give this video a like, not just to support our channel, but to connect with fellow stargazers who are discovering the profound ways their astrological blueprint influences their journey. This community understands you in ways others might not, recognizing the nuances of your fiery spirit that we're about to explore in depth. As we transition into understanding why certain traits are uniquely suited to your Aries nature, prepare to have those moments of profound recognition, those cosmic aha moments where suddenly your natural tendencies make perfect sense. Because when you understand the unstoppable force that drives you, the first reason, rushing headfirst into new adventures without a second thought, this isn't recklessness, it's your evolutionary advantage. While other signs are paralyzed by analysis, you're already gathering experience, data, and momentum. Think about the last opportunity that presented itself to you. Did you weigh every possible outcome, create spreadsheets of pros and cons, consult multiple advisors, Or did you feel that instinctive pull, that gut-level certainty that said go, and you went? That's the Aries way. An intuitive understanding that in a universe of infinite possibilities, action trumps contemplation. The ancient astrologers observed Mars, your ruling planet, cutting a swift path through the night sky. They recognized this celestial movement in Aries individuals, that same direct approach, that same unwillingness to orbit indecisively around a decision. When you dive into new waters without testing the temperature first, you're not being impulsive. You're expressing the purest form of your cosmic blueprint. Consider how many extraordinary experiences you've had precisely because you didn't hesitate. The connections made, the lessons learned, the views witnessed, all because you stepped forward when others stepped back. This trait has likely placed you in challenging situations, yes, but hasn't it also been your greatest teacher? The universe rewards the bold, and as an Aries, boldness is your default setting. The second reason, feeling most alive when competing, even in mundane activities. Notice how you instinctively turn everyday activities into competitions? The way you silently race other shoppers to the checkout line, how you challenge yourself to beat yesterday's workout stats, or secretly time how quickly you can complete routine tasks. This isn't mere playfulness. It's your spirit's way of infusing vitality into the ordinary. Competition for you isn't about defeating others. It's about defeating complacency. It's about maintaining that edge, that sharpness of mind and purpose that makes you uniquely Aries. When you approach life as a series of personal challenges to overcome, you transform mundane moments into opportunities for growth and excellence. Remember the last time you felt that surge of energy when someone said, "I bet you can't"? That wasn't just your ego responding. It was your essential Aries nature rising to meet its purpose. You were designed to push boundaries, to test limits, to discover what's possible when determination meets opportunity. This competitive spirit keeps your skills honed and your senses sharp in a world that too often settles for mediocrity. The third reason, creating instant solutions while others are still defining the problem. Your mind operates at a different frequency than other signs, not better or worse, but distinctly Aries. When faced with obstacles, you don't see complexity. You see components that can be tackled individually and swiftly. This problem-solving superpower often leaves others wondering how you arrived at solutions so quickly. The answer lies in your cosmic wiring. While earth signs methodically analyze, water signs emotionally process, and air signs theoretically approach problems, your fire sign energy cuts through all of that with intuitive action. You perceive, decide, and implement in one fluid motion, a trait that makes you invaluable in crisis situations. This isn't to say your solutions are always perfect. Even you would admit to occasional missteps, but your willingness to adjust course mid-action gives you an adaptability that more cautious signs might envy. You understand instinctively what others learn through experience, that perfect solutions rarely exist, but timely solutions almost always outperform delayed perfection. The fourth reason, your legendary impatience during lengthy meetings or explanations. That restlessness you feel during drawn-out discussions isn't a character flaw. It's your internal efficiency expert signaling that time is being wasted. Your cosmic role as the initiator of the Zodiac means you're naturally attuned to beginnings, to that spark of creation that launches new endeavors. Dwelling in the middle stages, the analysis, the discussion, the refinement, can feel like being asked to run a marathon at walking pace. Notice how your energy shifts when meetings move from theory to application, from talk to action. That's because your Aries nature is purpose-built for implementation. You shine brightest not in the planning room but on the front lines, where decisions translate into tangible results. This impatience serves an evolutionary purpose. It pushes groups forward, prevents stagnation, and ensures that ideas don't remain theoretical forever. In the cosmic ecosystem, your role is to keep energy moving, sometimes with a gentle nudge, sometimes with an insistent push, but always forward. The fifth reason, the rush of adrenaline when someone challenges your opinion. Unlike signs that avoid confrontation, you experience an unmistakable energy surge when your ideas are contested. That quickening pulse, that mental sharpness that kicks in. It's not anger but awakening. You're never more present, more engaged, more alive than when defending your position or refining your thinking against opposing views. This trait has ancient roots in your ruling planet Mars, named for the god of war, not because Aries people are warlike, but because they understand that truth, like steel, is forged in the heat of challenge. When your perspectives are tested, your thinking doesn't crumble. It crystallizes, becoming more precise and powerful with each exchange. Consider how often your best insights have emerged during debate rather than solitary contemplation. There's something about the dynamic energy of intellectual exchange that activates your highest thinking. Where others might feel threatened by disagreement, you recognize it instinctively as an opportunity for growth and refinement. The sixth reason: immediately forgetting arguments after they are resolved. The cosmic gift of emotional resilience sets you apart from signs that hold grudges or ruminate on past conflicts. Once an issue is addressed, your Aries energy naturally redirects toward the future, releasing what no longer serves your forward momentum. This isn't emotional avoidance, but emotional efficiency. You understand intuitively what takes others years of personal development to learn, that carrying yesterday's grievances into tomorrow's opportunities serves no purpose. Your natural tendency to reset emotional counters after conflict resolution isn't insensitivity. It's emotional intelligence of the highest order. Notice how confusing it can be when someone brings up a disagreement you considered long resolved. That genuine bewilderment reveals how completely your mind releases processed emotions, creating clean space for new experiences. This trait allows you to maintain relationships that might otherwise fracture under the weight of accumulated resentments. The fiery nature of Aries burns hot but quick, intense in the moment, but unwilling to keep embers of past conflicts smoldering. This emotional agility gives you a freedom of movement through life's complexities that other signs might envy, allowing you to enter each day unburdened by yesterday's battles. As we explore these unique Aries traits, perhaps you're recognizing yourself more clearly, understanding that what others might have labeled as too much is actually perfectly calibrated for your cosmic purpose. Your unstoppable force isn't something to be tamed or diminished. It's something to be channeled and celebrated as the essential energy that moves dreams from possibility to reality. The traits we've explored, your instinctive action, your competitive spirit, your solution-focused thinking, your time-conscious impatience, your engagement in challenge, and your emotional resilience, aren't random personality quirks. They're the interconnected components of your Aries design, each one supporting and enhancing the others to create a powerful force of initiation and implementation in a world that often hesitates at the starting line. The seventh reason: the inability to hide your true feelings on your expressive face. In a world of carefully constructed social masks, your face tells the unfiltered truth of your emotional state. That transparent quality, the way your excitement, disappointment, or impatience registers instantly in your expression, isn't a tactical disadvantage, but a rare form of authenticity. While other signs might cultivate poker faces that reveal nothing, your Aries nature broadcasts in high definition. This emotional transparency operates as a form of unconscious honesty. Before you form the words to express what you're feeling, your eyes have already delivered the message. Friends often remark how they knew exactly what you thought of their idea, their outfit, or their decision before you said a single word, because your face had already told the story. What's fascinating is how this trait simultaneously frustrates and liberates you. On one hand, you've likely experienced moments of wishing you could conceal your reactions, especially in professional settings where neutrality might be expected. On the other hand, you're spared the exhaustion that comes with maintaining facades. While others expend energy managing their external presentations, you invest that same energy into authentic engagement with the world around you. The eighth reason: your rapid-fire speaking. Pace when excited about a new idea. Listen to yourself the next time inspiration strikes. The way your words tumble over one another, your sentences accelerating as if racing to keep pace with your thoughts. This characteristic Aries tempo isn't merely enthusiasm. It's the audible evidence of how your mind processes inspiration differently than other signs. For you, ideas arrive not as gentle whispers, but as complete downloads, fully formed concepts that demand immediate expression. The resulting verbal sprint isn't carelessness but urgency, a recognition that ideas are living entities that need oxygen, need voice, need action to survive. Where other signs might nurture a concept privately before sharing, your Aries instinct understands that ideas gain power through articulation and interaction. This rapid-fire delivery often means you're midway through your next thought before others have processed your first. It's why you sometimes find yourself circling back, repeating key points, or feeling mildly frustrated when listeners ask you to slow down. What they don't realize is that for Aries, slowing the expression of an idea feels like artificially dampening its natural energy, like asking a waterfall to flow more gently. The ninth reason, your natural tendency to protect and fight for the underdogs beneath your competitive exterior beats the heart of a defender. Notice how instinctively you rally to support those at a disadvantage, the colleague being talked over in meetings, the friend receiving unfair treatment, the stranger facing an imbalance of power. This protective instinct springs from the warrior archetype at the core of Aries energy. Unlike signs that might sympathize from a distance or offer philosophical perspectives on injustice, your Mars-ruled nature compels direct intervention. You don't just wish things were fairer, you step into situations and make them fairer through your presence and actions. This quality often surprises those who have categorized you simply as competitive or independent, missing the profound sense of justice that drives much of your behavior. Your advocacy isn't calculated or strategic, it's reflexive. You defend others not to gain advantage or recognition, but because remaining silent in the face of unfairness creates an internal dissonance you cannot tolerate. This aspect of your Aries nature connects to ancient archetypes of the honorable warrior who uses strength not for conquest, but for protection. The 10th reason, secretly enjoying being called too intense by others. When someone describes you as intense, do you notice that tiny flicker of satisfaction beneath any surface objection? That's because on some level, you recognize intensity not as criticism, but as confirmation that you're living fully, engaging completely, and refusing to dilute your essential nature to make others comfortable. This characteristic Aries trait, embracing rather than avoiding intensity, sets you apart in a culture that often values moderation above all else. Where others might tone themselves down to fit in, you instinctively understand that your fire is not meant to be diminished, but directed. The heat of your passion, the force of your conviction, the depth of your engagement, these are not flaws to be corrected, but powers to be channeled. Those who call you too intense are often unconsciously expressing their own discomfort with full throttle living. They've adapted to a world that rewards measured responses and calculated reactions, while your Aries spirit remains gloriously uncalibrated to such expectations. Your intensity isn't excess, it's your natural frequency, and operating at any lower setting would require a constant dampening of your authentic self. The 11th reason, your genuine confusion when others need recovery. Time from activities, the puzzled expression on your face when friends need downtime after experiences you could immediately repeat, isn't insensitivity. It's evidence of your unparalleled emotional and physical resilience. Where other signs experience emotional or energetic depletion after intense activities, your Aries constitution naturally recharges through action rather than rest. This remarkable recovery capability often leaves you standing alone, ready for the next adventure while others retreat to process and recuperate. It's not that you don't experience fatigue or emotional impact, it's that your internal systems process these experiences with extraordinary efficiency, converting what might deplete others into fuel that propels you forward. This trait explains why you're often the last one standing at celebrations, the first to suggest a second activity after completing the first, or the person friends both admire and exhaust themselves trying to keep pace with. Your capacity for continuous engagement isn't superhuman. It's simply the natural expression of Aries energy, which follows the pattern of fire, quick to ignite, intense in activity, and quick to reset for the next blaze. The 12th reason, your uncanny ability to turn any discussion into a friendly debate. Conversations with you rarely remain in the realm of passive agreement. Almost unconsciously, you introduce counterpoints, alternative perspectives, or challenging questions that transform casual exchanges into more dynamic interactions. This isn't argumentativeness, but mental engagement, your way of elevating discourse from the superficial to the substantial. Other signs might interpret this tendency as combativeness, not recognizing that for Aries, debate isn't about winning but about refining. When you push back on ideas, suggest alternative approaches, or play devil's advocate, you are not rejecting connection, but deepening it through the exchange of genuine perspectives rather than polite platitudes. This quality makes you an invaluable presence in any group setting where meaningful outcomes are required. While others might avoid tension at the cost of progress, you intuitively understand that the most durable solutions emerge from the creative friction of different viewpoints. Your willingness to initiate this productive discomfort often catalyzes breakthroughs that would otherwise remain unreached in more cautious discussions. The emotional warrior that defines your Aries nature doesn't fight for dominance but for truth, not for victory but for clarity. The passionate engagement you bring to interactions isn't designed to overpower, but to illuminate, cutting through social conventions to reach the authentic exchange that lies beneath. As you recognize these qualities in yourself, the emotional transparency, the passionate communication, the protective instinct, the embrace of intensity, the remarkable resilience, and the engagement through friendly debate, perhaps you're understanding more clearly why your emotional style feels so different from others around you. It's not that you're doing something wrong, it's that you're doing something distinctly Aries. This emotional warrior energy isn't something society always knows how to categorize or accommodate, but it's precisely what's needed in a world that often settles for superficial harmony over authentic engagement. Your unwillingness to pretend, to dilute, to hold back is not just a personality trait, but a cosmic gift, a reminder of what human connection can be when stripped of artifice and fueled by genuine passion. The 13th reason, feeling personally offended when someone walks too slowly in front of you. That visceral reaction you experience when trapped behind a leisurely stroller isn't mere annoyance, it's a cosmic clash of tempos. Your internal rhythm, set by Mars's swift orbit, creates a natural cadence that feels fundamentally disrupted when forced to synchronize with slower movements. This isn't impatience in the conventional sense. It's your body's intuitive resistance to operating below its natural frequency. Notice how this feeling manifests physically. The slight tension in your shoulders, the unconscious accelerating of your breath, the almost magnetic urge to find a path around the obstacle. These responses aren't learned behaviors, but instinctive expressions of your Aries energy system, working to maintain its optimal state of forward momentum. What's fascinating is how personally you experience this disruption, as if the slow walker were deliberately targeting you rather than simply moving at their natural pace. This reaction reveals something profound about Aries consciousness. You experience your relationship with time, not as an abstract concept, but as an intimate part of your identity. When that relationship is forced to alter, it registers not as a minor inconvenience, but as a personal affront, a temporary denial of your right to move through the world at your authentic speed. The 14th reason, your frustration when technology doesn't work at your preferred speed. The disproportionate reaction you have to buffering videos, lagging websites, or slow-loading applications reveals another dimension of your unique relationship with time and progress. While everyone appreciates efficiency, your response to technological delays often carries an emotional intensity that puzzles others. That's because for Aries, these aren't simply functional inconveniences, but violations of your fundamental expectation that the world should keep pace with your intentions. Watch yourself during these moments of technological frustration, the rapid clicking, the audible sighs, the physical restlessness that accompanies waiting. These aren't signs of a character flaw, but evidence of an energy system designed for immediate action being temporarily thwarted. Where other signs might passively accept delays, your Aries nature registers them as minor emergencies, triggering a full-spectrum response aimed at resolving the impediment as quickly as possible. This sensitivity to technological pace explains your tendency to upgrade devices before others see the need, to opt for premium services that promise speed, or to abandon platforms that consistently underperform your expectations. It's not materialism or impatience driving these choices, but an intuitive understanding that your effectiveness depends on having tools that match your natural operating speed rather than constantly forcing you to downshift. The 15th reason, having emergency backup plans that are more impulsive than your first ideas. When your initial approach meets resistance, something remarkable happens in the Aries mind. Rather than becoming more cautious, you often generate alternatives that are even bolder than your original plan. This counterintuitive response pattern distinguishes you from signs that retreat towards safety when faced with obstacles. This escalation of daring in your contingency planning isn't recklessness, but a sophisticated adaptation strategy. Where others might interpret an obstacle as a sign to proceed with greater caution, your Aries intuition reads it as confirmation that conventional approaches are insufficient for the situation at hand. Each resistance point triggers not a reduction in ambition, but an evolutionary leap in creative problem solving. Examine your recent history of overcoming challenges. You'll likely notice this pattern of responding to blockages with increasingly innovative and often more direct alternatives. This trait makes you particularly valuable in crisis situations, where your ability to generate progressively more creative solutions under pressure can transform seemingly insurmountable problems into manageable challenges. The 16th reason, abandoning projects. Halfway when the initial excitement wears off, that graveyard of half-completed projects, the language learning app with 3 weeks of perfect attendance, the fitness regimen abandoned mid-transformation, the novel with brilliantly written opening chapters, isn't evidence of a flaw in your character, but a feature of your cosmic design. As the Zodiac's initiator, you are wired to excel at beginnings, to thrive in the energy of launch, to experience peak engagement during the phase where potential is being converted into initial form. This specialization in starts rather than finishes isn't failure but focus. Your cosmic role isn't to maintain systems but to activate them. Where other signs derive satisfaction from methodical completion or sustained effort, your Aries nature experiences its greatest fulfillment in that magical moment when something transitions from idea to reality, from potential to action. Understanding this trait as specialization rather than shortcoming offers a profound shift in self-perception. Instead of viewing your project graveyard with regret, you might recognize it as evidence of your prolific initiating capacity, your ability to breathe life into more ideas in a month than some might in years. The question then becomes not how can I finish more, but how can I partner with complementary energies that excel at the phases where my interest naturally wanes. The 17th reason, preferring to learn from mistakes rather than taking advice. That characteristic resistance you feel when someone begins a sentence with "you should" isn't stubbornness, but your experiential learning style asserting itself. Where other signs might absorb wisdom through instruction, your Aries intelligence gathers its most valuable data through direct experience, particularly through the intensely educational moment of making and recognizing a mistake. This preference for experiential learning manifests in countless ways. Skimming instructions before attempting assembly, testing software features through exploration rather than tutorials, or making career moves that others caution against. It's not that you can't learn from external wisdom. It's that information doesn't fully integrate into your understanding until you've personally verified its validity through action. This trait explains why the most impactful lessons in your life have likely come not from what you were told, but from what you discovered through trial and error. Your cosmic design includes an accelerated learning circuit that activates most powerfully in the aftermath of a misstep, a sophisticated feedback system that converts errors into expertise with remarkable efficiency. The 18th reason. Having a secret collection of unfinished books you swore you'd complete. That stack of books with bookmarks permanently lodged at various points between chapters 3 and 7 isn't evidence of a scattered attention span, but a map of your intellectual curiosity. Unlike signs that methodically consume information in linear fashion, your Aries mind operates more like a heat-seeking missile, drawn instinctively to concepts that generate immediate resonance and moving on when that resonance fades. This reading pattern, intense engagement followed by sudden departure, mirrors your approach to many aspects of life. It's not that you lack focus, it's that your focus is purpose-driven rather than process-driven. Once a book has delivered its most valuable insights or ceased to generate new connections in your thinking, your cosmic efficiency expert naturally redirects your attention toward sources with greater potential return on investment. What's particularly interesting is the persistent belief that you'll eventually return to complete these books, a hope that remains alive despite considerable evidence to the contrary. This optimistic self-deception isn't denial, but the expression of your fundamentally forward-looking nature, which maintains the possibility of completion even while your attention has moved decisively onward. The paradox of patience that defines your Aries experience isn't about lacking endurance, but about having a highly selective investment system. You possess extraordinary patience for activities that engage your full spectrum of abilities: competitive challenges, creative problem solving, leadership opportunities, while experiencing genuine difficulty sustaining interest in tasks that utilize only a narrow band of your capacity. This selective patience explains why you can spend hours mastering a skill that challenges you while finding it nearly impossible to sit through a meeting that proceeds at a glacial pace. It clarifies why you might read 3 books simultaneously rather than one sequentially, or why you excel in crisis situations that would overwhelm others while struggling with routine tasks that others find comfortable. Understanding this pattern offers a profound shift in self-management. Instead of attempting to develop generic patience, a strategy that often fails, you might instead recognize the specific conditions under which your natural staying power emerges. This isn't about overcoming an Aries trait, but about aligning your commitments with the types of challenges that naturally evoke your capacity for sustained focus. As you recognize these patterns in yourself, the tempo sensitivity, the technological expectations, the escalating backup plans, the project pagination, the experiential learning style, and the selective reading habits, perhaps you're gaining a clearer picture of how your relationship with time and process differs fundamentally from those around you. This isn't deviation from some universal standard, but specialization, your unique cosmic configuration designed for specific types of contribution to our collective experience. The 19th reason, immediately forgetting arguments after they're resolved. That remarkable ability to engage in heated debate one moment and laugh freely with your opponent the next isn't emotional superficiality. It's one of your most sophisticated evolutionary advantages. While other signs might carry the emotional residue of conflicts for hours, days, or even years, your Aries constitution performs an almost alchemical transformation the moment resolution occurs, transmuting confrontational energy back into connective energy without leaving a trace of resentment. This emotional reset capacity manifests in countless scenarios. The way you can passionately disagree with a colleague in a meeting and chat casually with them at lunch, how you can have an intense disagreement with your partner and genuinely wonder why they're still withdrawn an hour later, or how completely you can reconcile with friends after conflicts that might permanently damage other relationships. It's not that you don't experience the full intensity of disagreement, it's that you process and release that intensity with extraordinary efficiency. The phoenix-like quality of this emotional pattern, the ability to emerge completely renewed from the ashes of conflict, represents one of the most profound expressions of Aries energy. It embodies the elemental nature of fire itself, quick to ignite, intensely present, and leaving minimal residue once extinguished. This trait doesn't just benefit you, it creates a unique form of emotional safety for those in relationship with you, who learn that your momentary fire doesn't result in lasting burns. The 20th reason, your talent for inspiring or intimidating others into action, the catalytic effect you have on groups, the way your mere presence can accelerate decision-making, motivate implementation, or transform hesitation into commitment, isn't just personality, but planetary influence. Your ruling planet Mars, named for the god who moved armies, expresses through you as a form of energetic contagion that spreads to those in your orbit, elevating their action potential often without a word being spoken. This activation capacity operates on a spectrum from inspiration to intimidation, depending on the receptivity of those around you. Some experience your energy as a welcome boost that helps them access their own courage and decisiveness. Others might feel uncomfortably pressured by the same energy, experiencing your natural tempo as an implicit demand to move faster than their systems can comfortably sustain. What's fascinating is how unconsciously this influence operates. You're often genuinely surprised to hear you've been described as intimidating when you were simply being yourself. This disconnect occurs because you're experiencing your energy from the inside as your normal operating state, while others are encountering it as an external force that disrupts their equilibrium and challenges their inertia. The 21st reason, refusing to acknowledge physical tiredness until you literally collapse. That characteristic tendency to push beyond reasonable physical limits, continuing activities long after others have retreated to recover, dismissing early warning signals from your body, or being genuinely surprised when exhaustion finally forces a shutdown, reveals another dimension of your unique relationship with energy management. Unlike signs that preserve their resources through careful monitoring and preventive rest, your ARIES system operates more like a high-performance engine that runs at maximum capacity until complete depletion. This approach to physical energy isn't stubbornness or unhealthy denial, but a different relationship with the concept of reserves. Where others experience their energy as a limited resource to be conserved, you experience it as a renewable flow to be fully expressed. This distinction explains why you often feel energized by activities that deplete others, or why you can push through fatigue barriers that would stop most people in their tracks. The eventual collapse that sometimes results from this pattern isn't failure, but the natural conclusion of a different energy cycle, one that favors intense output, followed by complete reset rather than measured distribution. Understanding this cycle allows you to work with rather than against your natural rhythm, planning for those renewal periods rather than being surprised when they become unavoidable. The 22nd reason, your genuine confusion when others need recovery. Time from activities, the puzzled expression that crosses your face when friends need days to recover from experiences you could immediately repeat, isn't insensitivity, but evidence of a fundamentally different processing system. Your ARIES constitution includes an accelerated recovery function that converts experiences into integration with remarkable speed, allowing you to reset emotionally and energetically while others are still in the midst of absorption. This trait appears in numerous contexts. The way you can have an intense emotional conversation and be ready for normal interaction minutes later, how quickly you bounce back from disappointments that might derail others for weeks, or your ability to shift immediately from one demanding activity to another without transition time. It's not that you don't fully experience these events, it's that your processing happens at a pace that can make your recovery appear almost instantaneous to outside observers. This accelerated integration capacity often creates a form of innocent disconnection from others' experience. When you suggest another adventure immediately following an intense one, or express surprise when friends aren't ready to engage after an emotional exchange, you're not being deliberately insensitive. You're operating from your authentic timeline, genuinely unable to intuitively grasp the longer processing cycles that others require. The 23rd reason, the uncanny ability to turn any discussion into a friendly debate. The way casual conversations with you naturally evolve into more dynamic exchanges of contrasting viewpoints isn't argumentativeness, but intellectual engagement. Your instinctive resistance to passive agreement in favor of more energetic and productive interaction. Where other signs might prioritize conversational harmony, your ARIES nature recognizes that the most valuable connections often emerge through the creative friction of differing perspectives. This debate instinct manifests in subtle ways. The questions you naturally ask that challenge assumptions, the alternative scenarios you spontaneously generate, or your instinctive presentation of the opposing view, even when you fundamentally agree with the speaker. These aren't calculated tactics, but your authentic mode of engagement, your way of honoring others' ideas by testing their resilience rather than simply accepting them at face value. What's particularly noteworthy is how this trait operates on a spectrum from stimulating to overwhelming, depending on the conversational partner. Some find your challenging energy invigorating, a welcome opportunity to refine their thinking through interaction. Others might experience it as exhausting or confrontational, not recognizing that your questions and counterpoints are expressions of interest rather than opposition. The 24th reason: your ability to bounce back from emotional setbacks with remarkable speed. The resilience that allows you to recover from disappointments, rejections, or failures with minimal downtime isn't emotional shallowness, but another expression of your phoenix-like nature. Where other signs might require extended periods to process setbacks before moving forward, your Aries constitution includes a natural resetting mechanism that quickly transforms the energy of disappointment into the energy of new possibilities. This emotional elasticity appears in countless life situations. The way you can pivot to a new approach almost immediately after a rejection, how quickly you can identify silver linings in apparent failures, or your ability to extract the lesson from difficult experiences without becoming trapped in prolonged analysis. It's not that you don't feel the full impact of setbacks, it's that you process them with extraordinary efficiency, completing in hours or days what might take others weeks or months. The cosmic wisdom of this design becomes apparent when you consider the initiator role of Aries in the zodiac wheel. As the sign responsible for beginnings, for first moves, for pioneering into unknown territory, you would be cosmically handicapped by a processing system that kept you immobilized by setbacks. Instead, you've been equipped with this remarkable recovery capacity specifically to support your function as the one who goes first, who inevitably encounters more obstacles precisely because you're clearing the path that others will follow. The 25th reason: the frustration. When technology doesn't work at your preferred speed, the disproportionate reaction you experience when devices lag, applications freeze, or connections buffer isn't mere impatience but a clash between your internal processing speed and external limitations. Your Aries operating system, optimized for swift decision-making and immediate action, experiences these technological delays not as minor inconveniences, but as fundamental disruptions to your natural flow state. This sensitivity appears in countless digital interactions: the multiple clicks you give an unresponsive button, the audible expressions of frustration during loading delays, or the decisive abandonment of platforms that consistently underperform your expectations. These reactions aren't character flaws, but evidence of a highly efficient system being forced to operate below its designed capacity, like a sports car stuck in first gear. What's particularly interesting is how personally you experience these technological limitations, as if the device were deliberately resisting your intentions rather than simply operating at its maximum capability. This personalization reveals something profound about Aries consciousness. You experience your relationship with tools not as separate entities, but as extensions of your will, and their failure to respond accordingly registers as a form of defiance rather than a neutral limitation. As we complete our exploration of these uniquely Aries traits, perhaps you're recognizing more clearly the sophisticated design behind what others might have labeled as impatience, intensity, or impulsiveness. These aren't random personality quirks, but an interconnected system optimized for specific functions: initiation, activation, and transformation. Your emotional resilience, your catalytic presence, your physical endurance, your engaging conversational style, and your swift recovery capacity aren't separate traits, but aspects of an integrated energy pattern that serves a cosmic purpose. The phoenix that rises repeatedly from emotional ashes, that inspires others through presence rather than persuasion, that pushes physical limits to discover new possibilities, that engages fully in every interaction, and that bounces back from setbacks with remarkable speed, isn't flawed in its fiery nature. It's perfectly designed for its essential role: to keep energy moving, to prevent stagnation, to embody the principle of perpetual renewal that ensures life's continued evolution. Throughout our exploration of the Aries spirit, we've uncovered the intricate design behind what makes you uniquely you. We began with your instinctive tendency to rush headfirst into new adventures without a second thought, that remarkable courage that allows you to gather experiences while others remain trapped in analysis. We discovered how competition infuses your daily life with vitality, transforming even mundane tasks into opportunities for growth and excellence. We explored your solution-oriented mind that creates instant answers while others are still processing the question, and how your legendary impatience in meetings isn't a flaw, but a cosmic efficiency expert signaling when energy is being wasted. We uncovered how the rush of adrenaline you feel when challenged isn't combativeness, but awakening, your mind and spirit coming fully alive in the creative friction of opposing viewpoints. We illuminated your emotional warrior nature, that transparent quality that makes your face an open book, revealing thoughts before words can form. We recognized how your rapid-fire speaking pace during moments of inspiration reflects a mind that receives ideas not as gentle whispers, but as complete downloads demanding immediate expression. We honored your protective instinct that springs to the defense of underdogs, revealing the profound sense of justice that drives much of your behavior. We decoded the paradox of patience that defines your relationship with time, how you possess extraordinary endurance for activities that engage your full spectrum, while finding it nearly impossible to sustain interest in tasks that utilize only a narrow band of your capacity. We recognized how your emergency backup plans often become more ambitious than your original ideas, demonstrating your unique pattern of responding to obstacles with increasing creativity rather than caution. Finally, we celebrated your phoenix-like ability to emerge completely renewed from the ashes of conflict, performing an almost alchemical transformation that converts confrontational energy back into connective energy without leaving traces of resentment. We acknowledged your catalytic effect on groups, how your mere presence accelerates decision-making and transforms hesitation into commitment through a form of energetic contagion that elevates the action potential of everyone in your orbit. These 25 distinctive Aries traits aren't random personality quirks, but an interconnected system optimized for initiation, activation, and transformation. They form the cosmic signature that distinguishes your experience from every other sign in the Zodiac. Not better or worse, but specifically designed for your essential role in our collective evolution. If you've recognized yourself in these patterns, if you've experienced that profound sense of being seen and understood perhaps for the first time, we invite you to join our growing community at Secret of the Zodiac. Subscribe now to continue your journey of astrological self-discovery as we explore each sign with this same depth and insight. Our mission is to transform generic horoscopes into profound recognition to help you understand not just what makes you different, but why those differences matter. The knowledge we've shared today represents countless hours of research, observation, and distillation of astrological wisdom. Your support through likes, comments, and shares helps us continue this work, reaching more people with these transformative insights. But we want to be transparent. Creating daily in-depth content requires significant resources. If you found value in today's exploration, please consider activating the Super Thanks feature below this video. Your contribution, whether modest or generous, directly funds the creation of more content, allowing us to maintain our daily publishing schedule and continue bringing you these profound astrological revelations. What aspects of your Aries nature do you recognize most strongly? Which traits explained patterns you've always noticed but never fully understood? Share your experiences in the comments, not just for our benefit, but to connect with fellow Aries individuals who share your cosmic blueprint. The most powerful validation comes not just from recognizing yourself in our descriptions, but from discovering others who navigate life with the same distinctive energy patterns. For those who love an Aries, we invite you to share this video with them. Often, the greatest gift we can offer those close to us is the experience of being truly seen and understood, not as they should be according to conventional expectations, but as they are designed to be according to their cosmic blueprint. Your Aries friends, partners, and family members might discover, perhaps for the first time, that what they've been trying to change about themselves is actually the source of their greatest power. Join us tomorrow as we continue our Zodiac journey, bringing this same depth of understanding to another sign. Until then, embrace your Aries truth, not as something to be tamed or diluted, but as the essential force that makes you an irreplaceable catalyst in our collective experience.